Arsenal next. The only time Real Madrid and Arsenal faced each other in the Champions League was in the 2005-06 season, which Arsenal fans will remember was a very good one because they beat Real Madrid that time round, Karen. Can they do it again with this team without a striker?
It's so hard, isn't it? I don't want to upset all the Arsenal fans, but look, they're certainly the underdogs. It's certainly more than ever. We know how defensively Arsenal have been good over the last 2 seasons. They're going to have to be at the absolute best. It'll be very difficult to try and stop them. So again, I'm going to have to back Real Madrid, but I think they'll give them a good run for their money defensively, like Atletico have done tonight. But I still think Madrid are too good, too much individual quality to not see them through.
I know Real Madrid got through tonight, Owen, but looking at the performance and the way they played tonight, surely Arsenal must take some confidence going into that game. You never know, they might see Real Madrid on an off day.
Yeah, but they have to take their chances. The one thing you would say is Arsenal's defence is amazing, and obviously David Raya's been terrific. So you just wonder do you maybe sit in a little bit more and defend really well and hit him on the counter, but you need somebody at the top of the pitch to take your chances. You just feel, no Kai Havertz, no Bukayo Saka. It's such a shame, really, because they've worked so hard and they probably need a couple of bodies. You look what Real has at the top of the pitch, and the opportunities they have to change it. So Mikel will come up with a game plan, but I think they can do it, but I just hope they sit in a little bit more and hit them on the counter. Don't play open. If you play open, Real Madrid will beat you.
They've been good, like as you mentioned, defensively and set pieces. And like what Jude said there, hook or by crook, if you can find a way for Arsenal, sit in, be defensively solid and nick a set piece, what they've been great on for, like I said, 2 seasons, that might be their way.
Let's get some reaction from Real Madrid now. Let's hear from Jude Bellingham, who's talking to Phil.
Jude, congratulations. You must be absolutely buzzing.
Yeah, we're really happy. Obviously, it's a huge game for us to win, come in here, well, win, losing and drawing at the same time. But it's, massive for us, so important to get through at this stage, obviously, and who we're playing against as well. I know it will mean a lot to the fans. It's a really nice night.
This felt like a proper Real Madrid in the Champions League performance. Somehow we get it done.
Yeah. That's sometimes what it takes, those moments of kind of composure, of poise. It's not always the mad quality that you see sometimes from us, but I think there is that change of mentality when we come into these games, that we know that there's a certain way of winning games, and we're very good at that. We understand game and game situations really well and how to manage through them. So tonight was another example of that.
It's been a mixed bag for the team in terms of penalties this season, but tonight went better in the penalty shootout.
Yeah, it was obviously Vinny's. We have so much confidence with him taking them. Obviously, he's taken so many important ones before and scored them. So him missing, really, I don't think we'll really care too much about that. He helps us in so many other ways, won us so many games with big moments just like that. So it's one of those things that can happen. And then in the shootout, again, pretty composed overall. Thibaut got close to a load of them. So, yeah, when we went into that situation, I think all you can really do is focus on your own penalty. But, yeah, there's half of your mind that is thinking, looking to the people next to you, knowing that they've got your back and knowing that they'll do the business as well. So, yeah, pleased.
Real Madrid not with their finest performance tonight, but still finding a way to get through. They always seem to do that in this competition. What did you make of Jude Bellingham's performance tonight overall?
He looked probably a little bit frustrated. He probably didn't. I think it's really hard when a team defends with 9 people. There isn't really space. They just sat in, didn't really make those forward runs or forward passes. So he had a quiet game, but again, Vinny Jr. was quiet, Rodrigo was quiet, Mbappe was quiet. And that's a credit really to Atletico Madrid. But in the end, you don't care how you play, Jules. As long as you get to the next round. I think Maka said it in commentary, if you go out at this stage as a Real Madrid player, that's a disaster. But if they can find a way to win this and potentially win La Liga, I mean, that title race with Barcelona, Atletico is amazing in itself, but that's a minimum to get into the next round. And I think Jude, he won't care how he played. They got into the next round and they have a chance to go win it again like they did last year.
Somehow, once again, Real Madrid, they always seem to find a way, Owen. How? How'd they do it tonight?
Only they know. Honestly, they didn't really play great today. I think the only person who played great was Courtois in goal. Other than that, everybody was quiet. Vinny Jr. was quiet. Mbappe was pretty quiet. Rodrigo was quiet. Jude Bellingham was pretty quiet. But they found a way. They hang in there. And I think Atletico started the game brilliant. Conor Gallagher was probably the best player in the first half. But they needed a second goal. And they had chances, but Courtois kept them out. But they can hang in there. They can not play great and they're pretty cool with it, Real Madrid. Carlo's cool with it, and he's just chilling on the side. He knows the guys will find solutions, and today it was goalkeeper who won it for them, but you're not going to want to play them. Real Madrid is just like the worst team you can play in a knockout game. They don't even have to play well and they get through. It's absolutely remarkable.
Must be so frustrating for any team facing them.
It is. I mean, you know, Atletico Madrid tonight have denied so many opportunities. How many chances did Real Madrid really, really have tonight? They limited them so much. And obviously then to come short, as you mentioned, but they just find a way. They absolutely find a way every time.
And this time in the penalty shootout went all the way, extra time, to penalties. And it was a controversial moment that was pretty much decisive in it. Now, when you watched this initially, we didn't see this.
Well, you can't really. I mean, you can barely. I mean, he slips ever so slightly. But obviously, I think it took over a minute.
A minute and 9 seconds.
A minute and 9 seconds with VAR to decide that. But you don't really want to, I don't think you really want to see games decided by that. Then Llorente misses just after that. I mean, heartbreak. At Atletico Madrid Stadium, then Rudiger steps up. Not a great pen, but again, finds a way and gets past Oblak. And they celebrate. Vinny Jr. was on the bench at that time.
Should he have saved that?
He probably should have, yeah. But can't believe it for Diego Simeone. They had such a good game plan. Felt like he started the game perfectly. Needed that second goal, but these guys, they just don't go away. They just don't go away. It's quite remarkable how they can hang in there, not panic, not worry, and they end up winning these games. You could argue now they're probably favourites to go and do it again.
Julian Alvarez's penalty being disallowed in the shootout, Karen, it just feels cruel, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think I was literally going to say the word cruel. You know, you get so far to get to penalty shootouts. You've done the 90 minutes, you've done the extra time, and you get to that point, and it's that moment. But unfortunately, that's the rules. It is cruel, it is harsh, and you're even thinking it would have gone in anyway because it was the direction it was going. But unfortunately, that's the rules.
So you mentioned Conor Gallagher. Best player on the pitch, certainly in the first half. And what a start it was to the game, and what a moment this was for him to score inside 30 seconds.
Yeah, long ball from long lane. Asensio clears it. They win that second ball. Gallagher plays it out wide, and then he gets into the box. He started on that left, but he came inside. That's really important for anyone when you play on the other side. When the ball's out wide, get in the box, and they do that brilliantly. 20 odd seconds into the game, but they're trying to score. They obviously needed a goal. One goal behind, and that's brilliant for him. He just gambles. He just has a feel for it. He knows it's going to come. Gets ahead of Valverde, who can't do anything, and a brilliant start. And to be fair, with and without the ball, Conor Gallagher, he was brilliant in that first half. He just didn't see much of the ball in that second half when Real Madrid dominated.
And this just shows some of the stuff that he did really well in the game.
Yeah, we mentioned, obviously, I mean, that's a lovely pass, and obviously he got his goal tonight, but this is what I liked about him. You think about how many opportunities Vinicius Jr. or Rodrigo had compared to the first half of last week's game. It's night and day, and it's because of him. He drops back into these positions, drops back into a back five, screens in front, and it's all the dirty work that nobody else really wants to do, and you have to do it. It's like things like this, and that's what keeps the best players quiet. But he was exceptional tonight, and you can see why Simeone absolutely loves him and has gone after him and wants him in his team and played him tonight.
We were watching this match together, and we were talking about the fact that Mbappe and Vinicius Jr. didn't really show much of a spark. The one time Mbappe did, he wins a penalty, and then Vinicius Jr., when he steps up to take it, you expect it to go in the back of the net, Owen.
You do, but it was the one time they got a bit of space. Atletico Madrid, because they scored early, they had 9 back pretty much all the time. There was no space, even for the best in the world. Bit of space, and Mbappe, he manoeuvres it beautifully. Goes right, goes left. Longley brings him down with a little bit of a rugby tackle. And then you think, Vinny Jr., you know, is it going to be Mbappe? Is it going to be Vinny Jr.? I mean, he misses that by a country mile.
Penalty.
Yeah, and he had a quiet game. Credit Llorente, he played terrific. He misses it by a mile, and he wasn't at his best. And then obviously because he missed that, he came off an extra time, probably protecting him. Ancelotti, he's a player's manager. But you see Jude there just saying, come on, you know, we got lots of time, but you just don't expect him to miss the form that he's been in this year.
As a player, are you wanting to stay on the pitch, to take a penalty, just to correct the error you made in the game?
Yeah, he's one of the best. He wouldn't want to go off, but obviously Carlo probably wants to protect him a little bit and bring somebody else on. It was a surprise, but in the end, Carlo, he always gets it right, doesn't he? You know, he got it right again.
Yeah, of course, we're happy with the performance, but, you know, it doesn't matter so much. We came here to win tonight and to get through to the next round, and unfortunately we fell short.
You started the game amazingly, obviously your goal after 28 seconds, but it was the team as a whole, everyone was crunching into tackles, the fans were really up for it as well. It felt like everybody was up for it tonight.
Yeah, of course, it's a massive game for us. It meant so much to us players and the fans and the whole club, so we definitely left it all out there on the pitch, and like I said, we unfortunately just didn't have enough in the end.
It was a huge spectacle tonight, a Champions League knockout fixture, Madrid derby, huge stadium, great atmosphere. Are nights like these, why you came to Atletico Madrid?
Yeah, definitely. To play games like this is really special. Of course, it would have been a lot nicer if we got through, but it's something we can all learn from and take that experience and take it into our next games and our next season in the competition.
Real Madrid beat City rivals Atletico 4-2 on penalties to reach the Champions League quarter-finals, following an enthralling last-16 tie which ended 2-2 after extra time on Wednesday. Antonio Rudiger converted the winning spot kick for Real after their second-leg match finished 1-0 to Atletico thanks to an early goal from midfielder Conor Gallagher after Vinicius Jr. missed a late second-half penalty for Real. Atletico were fuming after forward Julian Alvarez had his shootout penalty ruled out by the referee. He slipped and his left foot slightly touched the ball before he kicked it with his right foot, making it 2 touches and invalidating a strike that would have levelled the shootout at 2-2. Atletico goalkeeper Jan Oblak saved a spot kick by Lucas Vázquez, but Marcos Llorente stroked his effort in off the post, leaving it for Rudiger to seal victory for defending champions Real, who are bidding for a record-extending 16th European Cup win. The Spanish side will face Arsenal in the last 8. The referee's whistle brought an end to normal time, and with Conor Gallagher's early goal being the only thing to separate the two sides, another 30 minutes of football was required to decide who will meet North London side Arsenal in the quarter-finals of this season's Champions League. Ancelotti's side began the period on the front foot, trying to find the winning goal to avoid a penalty shootout, a prospect which seemed much more favourable to the home side willed on by the some 65,000 Atleti fans inside the Metropolitano. The end-to-end nature of the contest continued, but a tale of spurned chances unfolded in the second period of extra time, with neither side able to break the deadlock that had kept the aggregate score level since the first minute. The referee's final whistle signalled the end of extra time, confirming a repeat of every Atleti fan's worst nightmare, a penalty shootout versus Real Madrid in the Champions League. Real Madrid beat Atletico 5-3 on penalties to win the 2016 Champions League final, a moment which has lived long in the mind of every Madrillo, though for differing reasons indeed. A nightmare repeated. Following a Marcos Llorente miss and Alvarez's penalty inexplicably disallowed, Rudiger stepped up to score Madrid's fifth and final spot kick. 9 years on from the heartbreak of 2016, this was a wound re-inflicted by the same familiar foe. Death, taxes, and Real Madrid finding a way to win in the Champions League.